I mean? You can't handle the truth.
Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper. We got a little bit of red here on the hourly. Overall, though, the daily looking pretty decent. Guys, I'm expecting that we're going to get a pump. I really do. We got a MicroStrategy earnings report, and Michael Saylor said it's going to be a good one. So, there's some news coming out there. We've also got some more earnings today on two more of the Mag 7. No rate cuts yesterday, as you guys already know. And then also, September rate cuts that I've been telling you probably ain't happening. Yeah, probably not happening. That is from Jerome Powell himself. He said, we're not looking forward like that. Plus, I looked at the percentages. Guys, 60% chance of no rate cuts in September now. So, yeah. We've been calling it right here on the Piper Academy show, the Morning Market Report. We've been BC too. BC Port Corp's been saying it too. Probably not getting one. Lucky to get one this year. One. BC's been saying none. So, guys, we're going to talk about this. We're going to break down the markets. We're going to show you guys some stuff on the charts because if you guys had Chart Prime, guys, this is where OC. This is where OC and I talked yesterday. Right there. That right there. And that is where the price bounced down to, getting a beautiful bounce right there off the quantum reactor, moving it to the upside, guys. Got into a long on that, pulled in almost 100% returns on a trade yesterday on that long. And so we're going to be talking about that, showing you what's on the charts, what can we expect next, where could this pump lead us to, all that and a whole lot more right here today on the Morning Market Report. You guys know what time it is. Take your seats, get your notebooks out. 2-dub. Make sure you're taking notes today. Guys, let's get it. Class in session. Let's go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. This is the show where we break down the macro, the headlines, the charts, the technical analysis, everything that you need to have knowledge because knowledge is profit. Appreciate everyone joining us here. But most importantly, I appreciate my co-host being here, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mexican Superman, even though he drinks orange juice in his coffee. This guy. What's up, OC? How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, doing great. Yesterday we took also a couple of trades as the markets went going down in trading with OC and took some profits. So it was an amazing day. Today I'm just chilling out. We'll see. We have a lots of things to do today, like taking a look at what is going to be going on or preparing for the weekend. I think it's going to be a low volume weekend. We did not create a significant high, I would say. So the possibilities for us to bounce back down and hit once again dynamic reactor or even a little bit lower, they are real. But you mentioned that we might have a pump incoming, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to be running back up to that $120,000 range, and we'll talk about why on that also. It's just, things are looking more bullish than they should be, but we'll ride that wave. Shout out to Lunar Beaches. We'll ride that wave until the wave is done, right? So right now, a matter of fact, I saw a thing this morning on CNBC Pro from their playbook. It says this has become the tech and everything else stock market. So, guys, it's not just tech that's moving over there in the stock side, but it is way over leveraged, as we've just discussed. The amount of leverage in the markets right now is at a record high. The amount of money that I think we're good. We got rug pulled. Average Crypto Joe said I broke the show. No, you were good, Average Crypto Joe. I don't know what happened there, but we are back in. We're running up. We're up. We're repping running, so it's all good. Anyway, guys, we're going to take a look at the charts. I was reading this thing that yesterday was talking about DSCR in Houston, which is multifamily home loans. Astronomical number on that heat map of multifamily home owners that have lost that are at the limit of what they can afford. They are barely breaking even right now on rentals. So and their loans are racking up higher interest rates. So I don't know. It's going to be crazy. But sorry about that glitch. We had a glitch in the matrix. We broke it. We'll blame it on average crypto Joe. I think that's what we'll do. But shout out to BC Port Corp. Let's go ahead and bring them all up here, and then let's get in on that Bitcoin chart with UOC. We got BC Port Corp in here. Harp, Crypto Coin Mindset, 2Dub, JR, and we're back, he said. Yes, we are. Alexandra G. Who else we got in here? We got the Gen X Fairy Godmother. Appreciate you being here. It's a Korean thing. You wouldn't understand. Piper Academy. 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. 하나토주세요. 평맥주. There you go. I know a little bit of Korean. A little bit. I just asked for a beer. That's what I just did. But who else we got in here with us today? I think we got through the name. Paul Hindenburg. He said, good morning. Good morning to you, Paul. Appreciate you being here. And I think if I missed anyone else, we'll get to them later in the chat. You guys want me to give you a shout out? You got to chat more. And make sure you guys are smashing up that like button. It helps us out immensely. Let's go ahead, OC, and just jump over to the chart. Let's do that, and let's see what we got going on Bitcoin today. Just give us the current situation, and then we'll come back and talk about where we could be going. So what do you got for us, bro?
Absolutely. So talking about where we left out yesterday, let's just let it load, and then for some reason just disappear. All right, so there we go. We actually are following almost to the T. Look at that, coming back down, coming back down to this area, and then coming back up a little bit higher than we of that those candles would be expecting. But at the end of it all, we're still in the same range, which means altcoins should be pumping and dumping. And I believe that we have seen that on the altcoin side. But so far, remember, this is my worst case scenario. I still stand behind this. I don't know if we're gonna make it all the way down here, but I mean, the more that we range, well, we need to go back above the zero line and then start bunching up at the top to then break to the upside for the bullish scenario. And we start to having a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, because right now we're in the part of the cycle where we already have our flip of the ribbon, and we have a Paul US crossing area. So we'll check that out after the fact. But this is the light at the end of the tunnel. We're breaking through that zero line. Hopefully, it is a nice breakout like in here, and we stay above that zero line for a little bit. If that is the case, I think we have a real scenario where we can actually just break through, or at least start bunching up at the top of the range, and then as we start bouncing off the zero line, going to the upside. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go for the bearish scenario. And that is because if we go right here, let me just make this thing lower or hide it, and we turn on liquidations. Well, we'll see that liquidations to the downside are much closer than liquidations to the upside. And look at that. Yesterday, we hit something here, and we barely hit those areas right there. So I think it would make sense to try to get these ones in here instead of these ones in there. Well, now that I look it up once again, let me see from where we are right now. That would have been a 2%. 2.32%, and to the upside might be a 133%. So my statement, let me change it. Remember, we need to be quick at changing stuff as we have new information. So, well, yeah, throughout this, what is end of the week, I think we might be able to hit these upper levels, and that is because we are right now at the center of the week. Well, Thursday, more there than here.
Yeah. I think we got there. Matter of fact, you're in line with what I'm thinking. I was actually going to say, I think we go up. It's closer, but yeah, the heat map is definitely there. We're going to take a look at that. But let's go ahead and jump over to the news. But first, shout out to the Otter Gang, the OGs joining us here. Alex O dropped in and said, I forgot to hit the close the stream, man. It's all good, bro. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate all the Otter Gang joining us in the house, bro. You're long this morning. Sweet. I was looking at that. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. Daily close yesterday, 117. I think it was 117.830, and yeah, and then we hit the orb. So we'll look at that here in a minute. But shout out to Alex O and the Otter Gang in the house with us. Let's go jump into the news and let's talk about everything that happened today, because it was quite a bit of stuff this morning, and it's given us some insight. No rate cuts coming soon to a market near you. So let's go jump over here. take a look at what we got on the news side, guys. Looking at the metrics from Into the Cryptoverse right now, we're currently sitting for the crypto market cap at $3.875 trillion. Trend on this is at 4.137 trillion. We're currently undervalued 6.34. We're moving further away from hitting that fair value line there, the median of that crypto market cap total. Current risk levels for Bitcoin sitting at 58.5% risk band. That means it's a two-time DCA this week. So DCA times 2, whatever your amount is, multiply it times 2. Simple math. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance right now with stable coins, we're holding above 60%, closing in on 61. And without stable coins, guys, we're 65.01, meaning a lot of money that's coming out of Bitcoin going into stables right now, not altcoins. We'll talk about that alt season index here in just a little bit. We warned you last week. It's not alt season. Prepare for pullbacks. Matter of fact, we gave a call for 50% take profit on XRP before the drop. That would have been last Monday. So let's look here at the fear and greed index, guys. We're at 72 right now, sitting in greed. We are down below that extreme greed. Extreme greed kicks in at 76, just so you guys know. PCE, breaking June PCE inflation. The Fed's preferred inflation measure rises to 2.6, above the expectation of 2.5. Core PCE to 2.8, above 2.7. And PCE inflation is now up for 2 consecutive months. And this is one of the big reasons that we're hearing things coming out of Jerome Powell's mouth, like, I don't know that we'll see a rate cut in September because inflation is going up. We're going to take a look at job numbers. Those also came in today. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. Michael Saylor says their earnings call today will be the most important event in the history of strategy. What does he mean by this? Are we going to? Wow, I'm really orange from that. Look, Bitcoin. Michael Saylor shows up. I turned Bitcoin orange. It's beautiful. Anyway. Yeah, this is coming out today. This is happening this afternoon, this today after the market closed. So, going to be a very important thing, and I do believe this will motivate some buyers on Bitcoin. I really do. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you guys this. We're going to watch this. How many? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can feel what this guy is saying here. Okay, well, let's go get it.
Millionaires and you
Early. I can't sell right now. It's too early.
You're acting so broke right now.
I'm not broke.
You have millionaires and you have nothing to show for it.
I'm not broke. I'm just low on fiat. When
When's it gonna hit the top?
hits 250, I will sell a little bit and buy your bag.
What's it at now?
It's at 187. I will moon pay a little bit of Solana, on ramp it when it hits 250, and I will buy you your bag. We're early. We're super early right now.
You don't know that.
I've carefully selected a portfolio of meme coins, and I know they're going to go up, and I'm not going to sell my meme coin portfolio to fund my girlfriend's handbag.
Let me know, guys. Can you feel that on another level? Do you understand where this guy's coming from? I think so. The only reason that I pulled out the money that I pulled out, as much as I pulled out when the market was still going up, it was because I put it on a house. I put some money on a house. So one hard asset to another hard asset. I'm sorry, handbags are not hard assets. There you go. So let's take a look at the TradFi market here. Dow Jones up about 2.23% right now. S&P is up 0.79 and NASDAQ is up 1.27%. Russell 2K small caps flat. It's right there. It was red. Now it's green. It's right at the entry price. Handbags are overpriced. There you go. And then VIX is at 15.2 right now, down 1.68%. That's what I said. The VIX is really calm, guys. We don't have a volatility index saying, hey, danger, danger, Will Robinson at all. It's kind of chilled out. Let's go look at the Europe markets overnight. They were down pretty much across the board, except for the FTSE, which was almost flat. Asia markets were red overnight, except for Japan. Let's look at the bonds. 10-year yield dropping slightly, down 0.028%, down 4.35%, but down 0.26 points. Looking at the oil there, 69.43, hit that $70 wall, back down it goes, right? And that's what we like to see. See this stay below $70 per barrel. It means that gas is going to be cheaper for us. And if it's above that 70, that means that the oil companies are seeing some worries in the economy. So it is staying down a little bit right now. Looking at gold, gold is on a rebound, still flat right now, but it is on a rebound, holding above that $3,300 range. It's at $3,354 right now. Silver pulling back a lot, man, off that $39 mark. It's down 2.89% right now. Copper is down massively, guys. Eric Wallen tagged me in a post on Discord yesterday. He said, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, Piper. And I said, holy balls. Copper is down 21.6% right now. Gold rises over 1% as the dollar rally pauses. Trade jitters resurface. Not seeing anything on why this copper happened. BC, I'm sure you know why this is dumping like this, but copper is down a lot. Platinum's down 4.4%. Palladium's down 3.3%. But markets all down except for gold right now. So let's go jump in on what Powell said yesterday. Powell to Trump and traders. He was talking to you. He was talking to you. He said, hey, you traders, I'm Jay Powell, Federal Reserve. You ain't getting no rate cuts. And he flipped everyone off. See you in September is what he said. One thing is for certain, following the Federal Reserve's latest interest rate decision, September could be one for the books. We have made no decision about September. We don't do that in advance, Chairman Jerome Powell told a reporter during a question and answer portion of his meeting yesterday. We'll be taking that information into consideration and all the other information as we make our decision. That comment poured cold water on the U.S. markets, with stocks falling from their session high to end the day lower. Fed held interest rates steady, no rate cut yesterday. This is despite opposition from President Donald Trump, as well as dissent from multiple policymaking committee members. Two members, Bowman and Waller, both pushed for a 1/4 25 basis point rate cut. So did not get that, marking the first time since 1993 that the Fed has seen a major disagreement. A major disagreement on rate policy. Powell, however, had no interest in assuring investors a cut would be coming anytime soon. He also reiterated a data-dependent approach that heightens the importance of economic releases over the next 2 months. Friday's job report and Fed's Jackson Hole Symposium on August 21st and 23rd will be his thing. But here's the bottom line. He's worried about the two things, and I say this all the time, the two things that he's worried about: job numbers and inflation numbers. If job numbers are looking strong, he don't need to cut rates. If inflation is showing that it's sticky and it's slightly sticking around or going up, then he can't cut rates. So there's what we're seeing on this front is that. And let's go jump on to that economic calendar since we're on this topic already. Core PCE index was at 0.2. Consensus and forecast is that it would go up 0.1%. And what did it do? Went up 0.1%. Inflation is sticky or going higher. Personal income, not bad. It was down -4, was expected to be 0.2 to 0.3, came in at 0.3. Personal spending, this is actually a good one. It was at 0%. Well, actually, it was -1. They revised it to 0. Consensus was that it would be up on forecast and consensus to 0.4. Actually came in at 0.3, meaning personal spending slowing down. Income's good. Spending coming down. That means a lessening of demand, right? And that also helps out inflation. So no reason here right now to cut rates with this inflation rate coming in. But look at initial jobless claims. Was at 217,000 last week. Expected that the number of people for the week filing for unemployment would be at 224,000, maybe 220,000 on the good side. Came at 218,000, just 1,000 more than what it was last week, meaning the labor market is sitting strong. So labor market looking healthy right now. Inflation still showing its ugly head. What does that mean overall? Probably not going to get those rate cuts. And now let's take a look at this. Sorry for the bright white screen. Can't change the color on this thing. September 17th, guys, 60.8% chance right now of no rate cut. It went from 18% to 20% to 31%. Now it's at 60% chance that we do not get a rate cut in September. October, let's look at that. We're only sitting at a 60% chance of a rate cut in October now. And that was the one that I told you back in January, February time period. We'd be lucky if the first rate cut we see is October. Now it may not even be October, guys. BC Port Corp may be right. We may not get one at all this year. And that's pretty much what Jerome Powell told to President Trump and to traders yesterday. We got the warning. The warning has been sent out. Let's look at the liquidations in the past 24 hours. 117,812 traders got liquidated yesterday on that pullback. Total liquidations came in at $391 million. The largest single liquidation was on Binance. It was for Ethereum, valued at $6.82 million. How about the alt season? When's alt season, Piper? It's a great question, OC. No time soon. We are sitting on an index for the alt season at 43. You can see we're continuing to go down here. Downward motion there on that line. Matter of fact, if I bring it over here, you'll see it a little bit better. Let me grab that. Let me grab that. Sir, can I grab you? Can I grab you? And let's move that over so people can see. Yeah, we're on a downtrend. This is when everyone said right here, alt season is here. You said alt season is here right now. It was at 59. And I said, well, technically, we got to hit 71. We got to hold above 75 in order for it to be alt season. Probably not alt season. Now we're coming back down. What is the level we got to watch here on this bottom side, guys? It's going to be about a 25 here. When we break below 25, that is a time to start watching alts because it means that alts are going to get that rally up to there. Now, keep in mind, that is your time to buy, not your time to trade them. Okay. We really don't hit an alt season until we hit up above 71. But if you're looking for the bottoming motion there on alts, that's right there in that around 25. Actually, it's going to be more like 13. So that's where we're at right now, though, on the index, guys, sitting at 43, far off from that 71. Bull market top peak indicators of our 30 guys. How many of them have hit indicating that we're at the top? 0. We're still sitting at 0. 100% hold. It's like 97, but yeah, it's close enough. Looking at the crypto bubbles here, guys, on the daily, as we said, and we're going to the charts to actually talk about some of these prices. Right now, Bitcoin's at 118, 146. You can see here daily, green. Some of this is in red. Solana's red. Doge is red. Cardano is red. Down 7.7 on the weekly there. But for the most part, a lot of them are green. Look at the hourly, though. A lot of pullback in the past hour right now, probably some shakeout. People got in yesterday. They said, oh, it's off, it's on. And they jumped in at that bottom peak before the V-shaped recovery. And now they're just trying to shake those guys out. That is my opinion there. But yeah, overall, nothing major, nothing crazy here on the downside moves. They're in that 1% to 2% range. We're just kind of stagnant there. What else do we got here? What else do we got? Oh, this is what you were talking about, OC, on Bitcoin before we jump back over and talk about the higher time frame. Right now on the monthly, the biggest max pain target to wash out shorts, liquidate those shorts, guys, it's going to be about $120,491. If you look at the long max pain, how much the biggest liquidation point you can target it against the long traders right now, that's sitting at 114,477. And we did not hit that yet. So we are only 1.9% away from the max pain for longs or for shorts, which would be to the upside move on price action. And for the long traders max pain, we're about 3% away on that one. So that's what we're seeing there. Overall, we are closing out the month today. What does that mean? It means that we closed July in line 10.68% to the upside today. It means we're in line with the median and the averages for July. But let's talk about August and what can we expect starting tomorrow. In August, guys, we're typically red. If you look at the time periods of 2021, 2017, which would be the end of the 4-year cycle before the crypto winter, those are typically green. Back in 2017, it was a 65.3% move to the upside. Back in 2021, it was a 13.8% move to the upside. Overall, the average is up 1.75%. The median, though, based on all of these months combined, negative 8.04. So it could really be a toss-up on what we see tomorrow. And OC's walking away from me there. Who's coming over to talk to him? But yeah, that's what we're seeing there. I'll go ahead and jump onto the chart real fast, guys, and we're talking about what we're seeing on here because right now we are doing a little pullback. Let me get this all set up. There we go. We are seeing this little pullback right now after this pump up. We got to bounce off of this quantum reactor yesterday, which also, by the way, I was in Chart Hackers talking about this yesterday with the Chart Hackers. Could I do a class over there with them? And we just pulled a quick fib on this. All you had to do is this right here. You go like this. You pull from the bottom up to the top, and look at that. What did we get? What's in that range? What did we get the bounce? Oh, it's 786 platinum pocket. Guys, it's that simple, and TA is not hard. It just most people listen to a bunch of noise. I've turned down the noise, turned up the power with some chart prime, and know how to use my fibs really well. And there we go. That was a long, made me, I pulled in 100% on that trade yesterday. So I dropped it all in the Discord. Shout out to the Discord. I love the alumni over there. But let's go ahead and bring up OC. OC. So yeah, those levels that we're watching, that $120,000 range, we're coming close to hitting that right now. But right now, I think the thing that people are really waiting to hear to get super bullish is rate cuts. And it looks at this point that we're not going to get any in September. There's no meeting in August. So we're looking at like 90 days out from now before we see any rate cuts. And what's odd about that is, when I get over here, that would be when people should get bullish, right? Would be that October time period going into November, right? But take a look at this metric here. November 3rd, according to this, is the end of your take profit session. We've only got about 98 days. So are we heading into this period of time where, hey, you should be running hard here and getting out of the markets, run for the hills. But all of a sudden, this is the same time period that we get a rate cut. And so we continue on past this. And this metric, which has played out quite yet well, by the way, in previous cycles, just absolutely gets torn up and thrown out the window. You can see down, right? Downward move from that point, downward move from that point, downward move from that point. Are we going to hit this time period here in 98 days, 97, I guess it is 96 now if you put it on the daily, but are we going to get here? And instead of this thing dropping like it typically does, it does this pump to the upside, all because Jerome Powell didn't do his rate cuts until October. What are your thoughts on this, OC? Gonna make me do it.
We're going to zero.
A few moments later.
You're faster than me, man. We're going to zero. We're going to zero. No, just kidding. Here's where things start getting speculated. This cycle is different, should be more in line with the previous cycle, evolving out of it, just like we have evolving from the blow off top, right? The very first blow off top was just fantastic. The comeback down also was very harsh, right? And then the secondary blow off top was not that great, but that was also very nice. The third one, well, then we start getting into double top scenarios or dead cat bounce, and now the evolution of that. I mean, evolution of Bitcoin, because it's so a few amount of Bitcoins being released out there, and the exponential way that they cut out, we're basically almost all the way out. We're only grabbing as much as market cap as we can, right? So here's the thing, just to answer straightforward, not to get many other things around. I believe that this is where the extended cycles start taking place. Right now, if any, how does cutting rates will affect Google? How would cutting rates will affect Meta? How does cutting rates would affect Tesla? Does it affect them? Yeah. Of course, they do.
Absolutely. Right? Makes cheaper money. So they can get even more leveraged on the markets. Oh my God.
Absolutely. Well, you actually can go around the point, but yes, absolutely. They do. But how do they do it? I mean, that also depends on if Elon Musk goes out and, hey, we're announcing this new product, or if founders of Meta release a new thing, or, I mean, if Meta release a new thing, new goggles, or whatever, right? It also depends on themselves as that kind of market, which brings me to, all right, now in Bitcoin, we have the Lightning Network, which I believe, and I've heard that we've been having an issue with the actual nodes from miners. So we'll need to see how that mining evolves, right? So there's something we need to keep on eyes. Now we also have ETF, another tool, another product, right? How would those ETF react? So on and so forth. So we have that much market cap that I think that dropping back down just because of the interest rates could be a limited drop back down. I do believe that we're going to go low because we're not going to have the rate cuts. I don't think that we're going to have the rate cuts, but I believe right before that, we're going to have one last hopium pump. And then coming back down, and that come back down might not be a 70%, but maybe a 45, a 50, or even a 60% come back down. And it's going to be a shorter period, and that is just to get back once again, almost at the end of the year, to all-time highs and actually make a new all-time high this upcoming December. That's what I believe, and that sits in line with how much market cap we could still have. We're sitting on that line that, hey, yeah, absolutely, this could happen. Oh, you know what? We lost the market cap that we're holding, and then we really have that 70% chances of retracement. I believe that we're going the other way. Like, we're going to keep that market cap, not to fall below 70% or not to fall below 60% retracement, which is going to make a shorter bear market and then it come back up on December.
Yeah, I could see something like that, but until we have a catalyst that says, look, the 4-year cycle has changed, then I have to go with the 4-year cycle, right? But that we're prepared for anything, but we have to operate based on the predictions, based on patterns, and that's what we do. I had a question from Average Crypto Joe. Oh, go ahead.
Although the catalyst, I think it's, well, no, you're right. I think the formula is there, which is right now what it has changed in the formula of powder of the gunpowder. It is how much market cap we have. I think the catalyst will define how much we keep on the coming back down, and that will break the 4-year cycle. I think you're right.
I agree with that. I don't think the pullbacks will be as harsh as they've been before because of the buying pressure from ETFs and institutional adoption. So, but this will lead right into the question that Average Crypto Joe had. He said, honest question, do you think you'll be all in by fourth quarter? That's a great question, Average Crypto Joe. And the simple answer to that is no. No. Here's why. So, if you guys don't know, if you guys have been following me here at Piper Academy forever, you probably know this. If you haven't been following me this whole time, then this will be some news for you. I sold out everything in January at the right before the dump. Pretty much sold the top right around the top of around 103. We peaked up a little bit higher than that, but that was the last time that we were at that level for all the way till April. April, I started to push back into the markets again, and I rode it all the way up. If you go back and look at April, by the way, just to put this in perspective for everyone, let's go here. Let's go to the daily. Go back and look at April. Right there. That's the bottom in April, guys. So in January, I got out. January, right after Trump, right there. So I got out in this range about right here. I bought back in here. I have been buying in on dollar cost averaging all the way back up again. What does this mean for me in quarter four? And the simple answer to that is I'll never be all in because I always want flexibility, and freedom of maneuverability on the battlefield comes with dry powder. That's how we have maneuverability, right? So I will probably never be all into the markets, even in quarter four. My goal isn't to have maximum amount of money working to make more money. My goal is to protect my wealth and grow it, right? And so by keeping dry powder, I ensure that I'm protecting my money as the other money is working, right? You never put all of your forces out on the front line. You got to have reserves in the background, and that's what I'm doing. So probably your answer, probably not. I'll never be all in. When will I be all in? That's a simple one. When the final green candle of the monthly MVP oscillator on Chart Prime stops firing, that's when I'll be all in, and that will be at the bottom of the next bear cycle. If you do not know about that indicator, I'll join the Discord. Come check it out. I show it all the time over there. But on the monthly, it has caught the bottom ranges of every single cycle with 100% accuracy since the inception of Bitcoin. So It's beautiful. So that's when I'll be all in. There's no more green candles on that MVP oscillator, I'll dump the rest of it in and we'll ride this entire thing back to the top again. And then you'll see me start to collect my dry powder as we're going up. I take profits. So technically, by the time we hit Q4, even if I had been all in still, I would be taking profits as we go up. I'm never sitting on all of my money getting greedy. I will take profits all the way up as we go. So even buying market bottoms by Q4, I would have at least 50% out and protect that wealth. So, OC, let's jump over to some altcoins and let's see what you got over there on some alts, because we talked about Bitcoin. I do think that we're going to hit that $120,000 range. That is our closest pocket of liquidity. But what are you seeing on alts, and how are we feeling about alts with the sell-off? I mean, they're getting a little bounces here and there, but pretty much when we said, hey, alt season's not here yet, it's been pretty much a downside move for alt since then. What do you got?
Absolutely. So, well, I think we can. I was about to play a video, but no. Let's just jump straight to here. I think we can see something like, for example, right here, Polygon. We have this big patty candle here. We have a momentum move to the downside. Let's take a look at what's going on. Where yes, we were on the green cloud, and that's something that I was expecting. In fact, this would actually come to a little bit of a surprise for me, because this actually looks like a goose head. It's not the place that I want to find a goose head, because this goose head, for me, I want it to be at the center, above the center of the upper half, if that makes sense. So this is what I want to have my goose head, all right? But recently, these goose heads right down here have been playing out very nicely. I did set up another entry right here, as you might already have seen right here at 21.41, 21.41 right here, right? And it's not that I enter, but it's that I was looking for that coming back down in here. What am I going to be doing? Giving it some time. Let's take a look at the 30 minutes on Polygon Matic, because this is abnormal. All right, so right here, look at that, very fast coming back down, not even hitting previous highs. Yes, we impacted on the 30 minutes the dynamic reactor, but I was actually expecting to have a little bit more of action in here, or trying to like have some battle in there. But instead, this is talking about exhaustion in the market, so traders are not here to buy this up. All right, so they're moving their money, they're taking profits and moving their money somewhere else. And if we go really quickly right here all the way up, and it takes me a lot now, I need to prune this list. But if we go all the way up to dominance, Bitcoin dominance, where are you, dominance? Here is. Well, guess what? Guess where that money is going? While we see dropping back down, we have almost exactly the same movement, but inverted. So if we invert this, we could be seeing almost exactly the same movement that we've seen on Matic. All right. So what is this talking about? This talking about, and let's just invert it back, that people are taking their money or their gains on altcoins and then pushing it to Bitcoin. So despite we are going to be taking a look at some altcoins, be warned, right now it's Bitcoin time. And by the way, BNB, boom shakalaka, we called this out yesterday. Bonk, we did not enter. Sui, well, it didn't. We did not had. We did had an alert. It actually went right straight to our alert. Just so you know, I did not take this straight. Too bad. Farcoin though, well, I don't have it right here, but absolutely, and Ethereum, we did took that trade. We also have a couple of other setups in here. Let's go one by one, and let's start it right now with let's see, what was it? BNB. All right, BNB. We were expecting a coming back up in here to this area. We did had a secondary entry right here, as you will notice if I just scale this and turn on to the downside, to the right side. There we go. We have a segmented entry here. We enter right in here very nicely. this is the time for you guys to take your money and walk away. So just take 50% out, move your stop to entry, boom shakalaka on this trade, and then let's hold it and see how that goes, because so far it seems like we are hovering at the bottom and we can still do one more move to the downside, maybe making one swing failure pattern like this, and we could be expecting something like that. Still kind of like respecting what we got right there. Let me bring on my indicators really quickly to see. Oh, come on, there it is. To see my predictive ranges, and we are on the gray line. It's not such a big support, but combined with other stuff, it makes for a good area to take some profits, which is exactly what we are doing. The next area that I'm looking for, it is the purple line, and then after the purple line, looking for the blue line wherever it's going to appear. All right, so I am expecting a little bit farther move to the downside on altcoins. Let's go and take a look at some meme coins, especially Bonk. All right, look at Bonk. 15 minutes, we have a beautiful trend line in here. Coming back down, we have a sweep of the lows. There we go, with a loud order block. Breakout retest. We can still go a little bit lower here. I believe that we have the chance to create a double bottom here. So be warned. I think our next possible entry will be for a long on Bonk. And we're expecting not to moon it, but just to take some profits out of it. All right. So let's just wait for us to cross over the green cloud. And once we're on the green cloud, we're going to be going for a long somewhere around these areas right here. Let me see if I have anything else other than that. Well, smart money entry areas right here and right there. So I might be able to point lower, but I do have another trend line coming in strong here. So I want to be a little bit more in line with that trend line for now. My stop loss is going to be at previous lows and then give myself a little bit of a wiggle room. Then why am I doing if I'm calling out for a double bottom? Well, this could be my double bottom. All right, so let's take a look at if we have anything else in here. Well, we have our order block. We have, there we go, a predictive range line in there. And what else? The end of our range. So very nice trading range that we have in there. Another secondary trend line in the same zone. And I think that will be good enough to start entering with half of an entry. All right, let's not go greedy. Let's stay focused. Now let's go all the way up in here and let's take a look at very quickly before I throw it back to you at Litecoin, because Litecoin, we were looking for that short, and look at that. I mean, come on, look at that. Almost hit stopped out or stop loss. Coming back down to this area. Very nice. What else do we have? BNB, we're talking about BNB. Atom falling back down. Let's see how our oscillator is pointing out. Let's just give it a second. And we are almost there on support zones. I think Atom could be right now at this point a good coin to start looking into. And that is because we have created a new set of predictive ranges on the 15 minutes. So our blue line is already been hit, but then we're looking to a golden line. Sorry, golden line has been hit. Now we're looking to our blue line in here. So coming back up could be a good area to jump in here. So a long position right now. All right, below or weak, give yourself a little wiggle room, and then aiming right below this area right here, a little bit lower just to compensate for this line that we have. All right, so first possible trade of the morning, half of an entry. We're testing the waters. We so far have one entry allocation, and I'm going to leave it till here, pass it over to you, and maybe we have some more time at the end. I'll take a look at Link, ADA, Solana, and XRP.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just sitting here looking at the 3-minute chart because Alex O Crypto, if he's still in the chat, by the way, well, Alex, if you're still here, let me know. But yeah, I was watching the orb here, man. This is one of the things from Market Dynamics Pro, and it's under the New York market open there, New York window, 8:30, 8:45 my time, and so I put this on here. This thing started printing around 3:30 this morning, but you can see this orb here that it creates. This is where we rejected right off of that lower band of the orb this morning. This is where I got it, grabbed that long at 117.830 on the daily close here. And then look, we came back up, we rejected off of it on the lower band, then pushed back up. Quantum reactor rejection again, and now we're back down to the point of control coming off of this fixed range volume profile way back in the time machine here. Man, geez, how far back are you? Where's this thing being taken from? It's being taken from all the way back on June 23rd. So this thing is over a month old, and we're right back to that point of control again, meaning this is where the largest amount of volume has taken place on the chart. So just, hey, guys, if you guys are looking for scalp setup stuff, Chart Prime is for the win, man, all day long. It's amazing. So what else did I want to show you here? We had a poll. Let's get up over to the poll. We did a poll here, guys, and I asked in the poll, I said, hey, where is that? I said, hey, how much money would you need annually to feel wealthy? Okay. 34% said 100K, 26% said 750K, 23% said 250K, and then 15% said 500K. So the biggest one was $100,000 to feel wealthy. Let's talk about that for a second, because a new article, and I've been wanting to go over this article with you guys for a couple of days. It came out on the 26th. But even many high-earning Americans don't feel wealthy. Here's why. And this is why I'm in Bitcoin, guys. It's really this simple right here. About 14% of all U.S. households make $200,000 or more per year. This is the whole household. So, if you got a husband and wife or partner and partner or whatever your lifestyle may be, 200,000 per household per year, 14% of all Americans, according to 2023 consensus data. I'd like to see what that is now, but a significant salary hasn't translated to big account balances for some of these consumers, which experts have dubbed Henrys, high earners not rich yet. Are you a Henry? Let me know in the chat if you're a Henry. Rising cost, debt, and lifestyle creep can leave them feeling stuck. Experts say nearly 2/3, 62% of people with salaries over $300,000 a year struggle with credit card debt. A new survey from BHG Financial found. Other reports have found many six-figure earners still live paycheck to paycheck. Earning doesn't actually make you feel rich. Spending it does, says Sabrina Romanoff, a clinical psychologist. If most people spent 99% of their paycheck, they'd feel quite rich. And it's the paradox here. When we're in accumulation mode, it's very difficult to feel rich. And it's kind of like that article, that video at the beginning, and I'll share a personal story about this. Americans say they would need to make $520,000 a year on average to feel rich. I feel privileged. I do not feel rich, is what a lot of them say. The career pivot has multiplied her income. This is Marie Incontrera. 39, worked as a professional composer, band leader, and pianist before launching her virtual assistant business in 2016. She then expanded her business during a pandemic into digital marketing consultation. The pivot multiplied her income. She anticipates her business revenue for 2025 to be around $1.4 million. She expects to take an owner's draw of $300,000 to $400,000 this year, meaning the business makes 1.4. Her pay for the business from the business would be about $300,000 to $400,000. I had pretty successful career as a musician through most of my 20s, but the thing that they don't tell you is having a career as a musician in music school is that you can be playing Carnegie Hall, which I was, and I was making $15,000 a year at Carnegie Hall. So despite her income going from $15,000 to $300,000 per year, she still doesn't feel rich. Let's talk about that, because how does this translate to Bitcoin? My personal story. I do have a decent amount of money now. Some of it from pensions, some of it from, a lot of really good trades in the bear market, $80,000 profit, right? I'd recommend a trading cruise than the Viking. Yeah, absolutely, Bobby. All those cruises I go on, I love them. But do I feel rich? I don't think I feel rich. I think I feel blessed, but I don't have liquid money available readily. And so the personal story is, my family knows that I've got stuff, and so they hit me up a lot. I'm always the one that gets hit up. Bank of Rick, that's me. But I've been telling a lot of them, I don't have the money, guys. I know I just sold a lot of my Bitcoin in January. I put 200,000 of it into a new home, and I need my dry powder to buy more Bitcoin. Why? Because that right there, that article I just showed you. When you have all of this money and you still are living on credit debt, right? You're not accumulating the right things. Accumulating debt is not the right thing. Accumulating something that hedges against debt is the right thing. And so the money that I would spend out anywhere, every time I spend money, I used to look at my bill tracker, which runs all the way out to like 2034, by the way. And I used to see, like, when I did an expenditure today, the Excel formula would take it out at the end, and I could see where, okay, the money I spent is no longer here. Now, when I look at that stuff, I have to multiply it by 5. So, because that's money that I could be putting into Bitcoin and at least doing a 500% run up on that. So, at the end of the day, guys, if you're not feeling rich, think about where you guys can cut your money, cut your expenditures. Do you need to have 5 streaming services at once? Probably not. Just get one, binge watch it until it's done, close it out, go to another one, right? All these little things that you can cut out of your expenditures, multiply that amount times 5 at a minimum, because that's what you'd be doing if you are accumulating assets and multiplying that over the years ahead. And that's going to be the big thing. How much to live on a cruise ship year long? Bobby Oz asked. I've seen an article on that. It's about $120,000 per person for a decent cruise. There's a lot of problems that come with that, though. You don't really have laundry service without paying for it. Every time the ship goes into port, you got to get off the ship and then get back on. So you got to pay for Airbnbs. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to that. There is one out there that you can buy your room on the hotel. I mean, on the cruise ship. It's like condos, right? That's what they're like. And then you can rent it out. But that one, I think, was around $350,000 for like a cheap room down in the hull of the fucking ship. So, I just landed out there. See what happens when you get Piper on a personal level, guys. The soldier comes out of me. I'm just saying. Shout out to LBC. He said I was mad at him. LBC, I talked about you at the beginning of the show. I said ride the wave like LBC style. I love you, man. And Alexandra G, you know you are my lady always. The LA lady, LA angel, my mod queen. Matter of fact, we got a new outro, and we're about to head over right now to an already in progress Crypto Princess premiere. So we're going to head over there. But guys, the outro has been updated. Did anybody see the change in the intro? Did anybody see? There was a change in the intro. If you guys didn't know, we'll see who's paying attention here. I'll give it a second for you guys to drop what the change was in the intro. But there's also some change going on there at the outro also. Hey, Crypto on the Rocks, Piper. Yeah, what about Crypto on the Rocks? Is that today, 6 o'clock? Is that at 6? I think it is 6 my time. I think it's 7 p.m. on the East Coast. Drop a link there, Crypto Coin. Actually, Alexander G, because Critical Keith don't have a wrench. We need to give him a wrench. Can you drop here? Let me give him a wrench. I'll give him a wrench. Oh, see, while I'm giving him a wrench and seeing if anybody notices who was in the what was changed in the intro, then yeah, we'll do that. But let's go over to you. Let's get one more altcoin in, and I'm going to give Keith a wrench.
All right, perfect. So I was just looking at SUI, but let's go and do XRP, and because it's been finding some localized bottoms in here. The way that I'm looking at this one is on the 15 minutes, and I see a little bit more flattening out in those end up candles. Not only that, look at it. I want you guys to notice that we already have a flip of the ribbon. Important. This flip of the ribbon might be disguised as a previous or a stop continuation to the downside. Let me show you what could happen here. So let me see if I can get it. Is this the one? Not really. Let me go for right here. All right. This is a little dramatic. All right. This is a little dramatic, but all right. I think it will make sense. For example, we already have the flip of the ribbon here. Where is the vertical here? There we go. And we are all the way up here. And look at that little hump that forms at the end, all right? What happened in that little hump? As we form it, we go a little bit lower, and then we come back up. I don't think that we are in this exaggerated movement. I think we could be in this kind of movement in here, before we start pumping back up. 15 minutes, guys. Right now, I'm not looking at the 4 hour. We'll take a look at slightly on the 4 hours, but we need to understand that we are ranging. Let's bring up right now targets where we could start hitting those areas. So smart money entry targets where we already have bounce and have a big movement. There we go. So somewhere around here, do we have smart money entries? Yes, we do have these two. So let's go ahead and grab those. This is going to be my area of possible entry for the next XRP movement. There we go. Unless this one in here start jumping up and getting into the green section. If that is the case, wherever I am, because I think we can get to this area and then continuation, well then, wherever I am, I could be changing my perspective and just waiting to have a proper breakout, all right? So far, so good in XRP. I think XRP has potential. Let's do a really quick link. Link is dropping like a rock, dropping like it's hot, but we're getting again into our previous area of entry. So where are we waiting for? I would say hitting there we go. I cannot get rid of this. All right, perfect. Getting into the loud order block that we have in here. So I think a link, it's looking juicy. It's looking juicy because I think we could be going down like in here, a fantastic entry, and then coming back up almost to dynamic reactor or to dynamic reactor. So be aware of link. Passing it over to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah. For those that don't know, TradeFly was swapped out for the alumni cap in the intro. But yeah, we did the outro. Took out some people that are no longer with us in the show. That have moved on, but yeah, that we also have the new song. So I appreciate everyone that joined us today, guys. Smash that like button. We're going to keep coming at you right here every day, 10 a.m. OC and I, we're going to keep grinding out, giving you guys the news, the charts, the alpha, and everything else. All we ask you, smash the like, share it with a friend, help us grow this channel. We're trying to give you guys all the information you needed. There's more than just technical analysis that make a market move. And if you guys are just watching TA, you're missing out on what really moves the markets. Guys, so tune in right here, 10 a.m. every single Monday through Friday for the morning market report. Don't forget to tune in with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Trade Live with OC. He's been crushing it over there. And then also BC Port Corp bringing you that morning show, guys. Tonight is the final night, the final episode of Markets After Dark with Lunar Beach's Crypto. Life happens, and so he's got to have some more flexibility to do some things over on his channel. So shout out to Lunar Beaches. Make sure you guys tune in tonight and watch the final episode of Markets After Dark here on Piper Academy, guys. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys some more macroeconomic data tomorrow. What are we looking at tomorrow in the economic calendar, guys? We're looking at non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate tomorrow morning, and then also ISM manufacturing. Make sure you tune in right here. Until then, trade safe. And as always, peace, love, profits. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
That's the rap. Chart stack data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual, signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next one.
Know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?